Have you ever watched your dog sleep and felt something catch in your throat? Not because anything was obviously wrong, but because something felt different. The way they curled up, the way their breathing sounded, the way they didn't lift their head when you walked past like they always used to. You tell yourself you're overthinking it, but somewhere underneath it, dogs can't hand us a letter. They can't sit us down and tell us what's happening inside their bodies. They can't say the words we're terrified to hear, but they are saying something. They have been saying it in the small, quiet, easy-to-miss language that only people who truly love them learn to read today. I'm going to walk you through 7 signs recognized by veterinary behaviorists, palliative care specialists, and the thousands of dog owners who've walked this road before you, that your dog may be preparing to say goodbye. Some of these will feel familiar. Some will sting in ways you weren't expecting, but every single one carries something important inside it. Not just a warning, a chance to show up fully for the dog who has shown up for you every single day of their life stay with me until sign 7. It's the one people can never forget, and I think you'll understand why sign 1, the quiet retreat 1. They stop coming to find you. For years, your dog knew your schedule better than you did. They heard your alarm. They met you at the door. They followed you from the kitchen to the living room, to the bathroom and back again, as if losing track of you for 30 seconds was simply not an option. And then one day they don't stay on their bed. They choose the corner of the room instead of the center. They're there, you can see them, but they've stopped orbiting you the way they always did. Veterinary hospice specialists refer to this behavioral shift as social withdrawal, and it's one of the earliest indicators that a dog's energy reserves are beginning to decline significantly. The body, in its quiet wisdom, begins to ration stimulation. Even the stimulation of love becomes something that costs more than it used to. Sounds feels sharper, light feels brighter. Even the warmth of your hand can feel like more than they can meet. Right now, this is not distance. It is not indifference. It is your dog moving into a slower, stiller frequency and asking you without words to meet them there. Then pull them back into the center of the room. Go to the corner, sit on the floor beside them. Let your presence be quiet. Let it be enough. Because for them right now, it is everything. Sign 2, food loses its magic too. The bowl they used to race to now sits untouched. Think about what food has always meant to your dog. The spin before dinner. The way they'd hear the bag crinkle from 3 rooms away. The focused, almost religious attention they'd give to every bite. Food was joy. Food was ritual. Food was one of the great loves of their life. When that changes, when the bowl sits full, when they sniff it and walk away, when even the treat they've gone wild for since puppyhood gets a slow blink and a turned head, something important is shifting. Veterinarians have documented that appetite loss in senior dogs can precede significant physical decline by weeks or even months. As the body begins redirecting its limited energy toward essential functions, digestion becomes a lower priority. The system quietly starts letting go of what it no longer has the resources to maintain. But here's what matters most right now. If your dog will still accept something, a small piece of chicken, a bite of plain rice, something warm and soft from your hand, that's a grace period. Use it. This isn't the season for nutritional optimization. This is the season for meaning. Sit with them while they eat. Offer small amounts by hand. Let every meal be an act of tenderness rather than routine. They may not be able to tell you what they need, but they'll feel that you're present, and that matters more than the food itself. Sign 3. The eyes tell you first. 3. Something changes in their eyes, and you feel it before you can name it. This is the sign owners almost never find words for until after. They say things like, "You looked at me differently," or "Her eyes seemed far away," or simply, "I just knew the change is real," and it is documented. Aging dogs frequently develop lenticular sclerosis, a bluish, hazy cloudiness that appears in the lens as part of the normal aging process. Some develop cataracts. Vision softens and dims, But what owners are sensing goes deeper than any physical change to the eye. It's self-behavioral researchers studying dogs in late stage decline have observed what they describe as diffuse gaze behavior, a quality of looking. That shifts from alert targeted recognition to something softer and more inward. Your dog still looks at you, but there's a quality to it now that feels like they're seeing through the moment, rather than just into it. Some owners describe it as peacefulness. Some describe it as distance. Some say it felt like their dog was already somewhere between here and somewhere else. Whatever you call it, don't look away from it, sit with them. Hold eye contact research on the human-animal bond has confirmed that. Mutual gaze between dogs and their owners triggers a release of oxytocin in both species. The love in that exchange is chemical. It is real. It does not stop just because the eyes have dimmed meet their gaze as often as you can. That connection is still alive. So is the dog behind those eyes. But the next sign is the one most owners misread completely. And when they do, they pull away at exactly the wrong moment sign. 4. The push and pull 4. They want you desperately. And then suddenly they don't. This one is confusing enough that it causes real pain. For days or even weeks, your dog may become almost impossibly attached. They follow you to the kitchen. They press against your legs when you sit. They lay their head on your lap with a weight. That feels different from usual, heavier, more deliberate. They whine softly if you move to another room. They're stockpiling you, some part of them. Some ancient instinctive part senses that time is narrowing, and they are responding to that the only way they know how, by staying close, by gathering as much of you as they can carry, and then sometimes, without warning, it flips. They go to the far corner. They don't come when you call. They find a spot you've never seen them use before, and lie. Their alone eyes half closed, completely still. When you reach for them, they don't lean. Ethologists who study canine behavior have traced this pattern back to deep evolutionary instinct. In wild canid populations, animals nearing death would sometimes separate from the pack, not out of sadness, but out of a biological imperative to protect the group and meet the end without disruption. Your dog carries that instinct. They are not rejecting you. They are following something older and deeper than either of you fully understands. Honor both halves of this. When they cling, be there completely. When they withdraw, resist the urge to chase them back. Give them the space they're asking for. Stay close enough that they know you haven't gone. Both phases are the same thing, love expressed in the only language they have, sign 5. The body speaks plainly 5. Movement becomes an effort they have to decide to make. There's a difference between a dog who moves slowly because they're old and a dog whose body is genuinely beginning to fail. Most owners who have been through this describe the moment they recognize the difference as something they felt more than observe. The trembling in the back legs when they stand, the way they pause at the bottom of the stairs they used to take at a run, the careful, deliberate way they lower themselves to the floor now, not settling in, but managing a controlled descent. The way they stop mid-walk and simply stand there as if recalculating. Veterinarians describe this as progressive proprioceptive decline, the body's loss of reliable spatial awareness of its own limbs. Muscle mass decreases rapidly in the final months of life, particularly in the hindquarters. You may notice their back end looks thinner, their spine more visible, their gait more uncertain. This is not something to fight against. It's something to accommodate. Put down rugs on slippery floors. Help them onto their favorite furniture instead of watching them struggle. Carry them outside. When they need it, raise their water bowl so they don't have to dip their head down. Make your home smaller and softer for them. They have spent their whole life offering you their strength. This is the season to return it. Sign 6 is the one most owners dismiss as normal aging, but vets say it's one of the most significant signals there is. Don't miss it. Sign 6 sleep that doesn't restore 6. They sleep more, But it doesn't seem to help. This one is easy to explain away. She's old. Of course. She sleeps more. And you're not wrong, senior dogs do sleep more. But what you're looking for here is something specific and different. It's not just quantity. It's quality. A dog who is simply aging sleeps deeply, wakes refreshed, lifts their head alert. When they hear something interesting, a dog in decline sleeps, wakes, and still looks exhausted. They sleep again almost immediately. Their rest doesn't seem to recover them. They wake briefly, take in the room with slow eyes, and fold back down. Veterinary internal medicine specialists note that this pattern, known as non-restorative sleep, is closely associated with organ system fatigue in aging dogs. When the liver, kidneys, or cardiovascular system are under significant strain, sleep stops being recovery and becomes the body's default state. The body is not recharging. It is conserving. Watch also for where they choose to sleep. A dog who has always slept in a specific spot may begin choosing cooler floors, unusual corners, or places that allow them to see the room without lifting their head, and disturb this sleep unless they need something. Instead, make the sleep better orthoped. The sound of your voice nearby, a hand resting gently on their side, so that even in sleep they know you're there. Rest is their work right now. Make it as gentle as possible. Asterisk. Sign 7. The moment you'll never forget. 7. They give you a goodbye. You almost miss. I saved this one for last, because it is the one that stays. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't come with warning. You might be sitting on the floor next to them on an ordinary evening, not a special occasion, not a planned goodbye. And your dog does something they don't usually do. They put their head in your lap and leave it there, not asking for anything, not restless, just still. Their weight settled against you, like they finally finished looking for the right place to rest. Or they look at you, really look at you, with a steadiness and a softness that feels entirely different from every other time they've looked at you in their life. Like they are seeing you completely, like they are saying something they have been trying to find the right moment to say. Animal hospice workers have documented these moments across thousands of end-of-life cases. What some veterinary researchers have begun calling terminal bonding behaviors in the final days or weeks of life. Dogs often display an increase in deliberate, meaningful contact with their primary person. A slow lick on the hand, a chin rested on your knee for a long, quiet moment, an uncharacteristic stillness that feels sacred rather than simply calm. Researchers believe this is neurological changes in brain chemistry in the final phase of life that reduce anxiety and increase the drive for contact to others. Believe it's something we don't have a clinical word for yet, something that happens at the edge of things. What every owner who has experienced it agrees on is this: they knew in the moment without being able to explain it. They knew what it was. If your dog gives you one of these moments, don't be on your phone. Don't rush it and think about what it might mean. Be there, all the way there. Put your hand on them. Tell them out loud that they are a good dog. Tell them what they have meant to you. Tell them that you see them. Tell them that you are not going anywhere. Dogs understand more of our language than we give them credit for, and they understand the tone of love even more than the words. Your voice in that moment, steady and close and full of everything you feel, is the greatest gift you have ever given them. These are the moments that become part of you forever, the ones you return to on hard days years later and feel something so deep it doesn't have a name. Not just grief, something larger than grief, something that feels like being chosen and being worthy of it. What, too? Do now. If your dog is showing you several of these signs, here's what matters most right now. First, call your vet and be honest about what you're seeing. Palliative care for dogs has advanced significantly in the last decade. Pain management, mobility, support appetite stimulants, anti-nausea medications, even in-home hospice care, all of it exists, and none of it is an overreaction. You are not overreacting. You are paying attention. That's exactly what your dog needs from you. Second, slow your life down to match theirs. Cancel what you can cancel. Work from home if that's possible. Sit on the floor with them instead of calling them to the couch. Put your phone down for longer stretches and feel natural. The weeks ahead will matter more than thin. Almost any you've ever lived through. Spend them fully. Third, make your home softer. Non-slip rugs on hard floors. A low-sided bed they can enter without stepping up their water close to where they rest. The household kept calm and quiet. This isn't indulgence. This is what love looks like when it has to be practical. And fourth, when the hardest decisions come, trust yourself. Some dogs leave quietly in their sleep. Others need gentle medical help to avoid suffering. There is no wrong choice when the choice is made entirely from love. Veterinarians and animal hospice workers who guide families through this say it the same way every time. Dogs don't fear death. They fear pain. They fear being alone. Remove those two things and you have given them everything. What no one tells you. Here's the thing: nobody prepares you for the grief of losing a dog. Doesn't live in dramatic moments. It lives in ordinary ones. The empty place by the back door, the food bowl you can't bring yourself to move, the way you still reach down for them when you sit on the couch, the morning walk you take alone and feel their absence like a physical weight beside you. Because your dog didn't just live in your home, they lived in your rhythms. They were woven into every unremarkable Tuesday, every bad day that became bearable because they were there. Every night you fell asleep with a hand resting on their side, grounded by the simple fact of them. That kind of love changes you. It teaches you something about presence that no person could have taught you, about how to give affection without reservation, about how to be joyful with your whole body, about how to love someone on their worst days and their slowest days and their last days with exactly the same whole heart. The goodbye is the hardest price a human heart pays for that kind of love. And almost everyone who has paid it says the same thing: they would pay it again, every time, without hesitation, because what they received in return was worth every bit of it. If your dog is showing you these signs, now hear this: you are not failing them. By learning what's coming, you are not shortening their time by understanding it. You are not betraying the love between you by being honest about where you are. You are doing what every great dog has always deserved from the person they chose. You are seeing them. You are staying close. You are loving them all the way through. And when the moment finally comes, whenever that is, they will leave this world knowing what every living thing hopes to know in its final hour: that they were loved completely, without condition, by the person who was their whole world. If this video helped you see your dog's journey with more clarity, please share it. Someone in your life may be watching their dog slow down right now, and not have words for what they're seeing. This might be exactly what they need. Hit the like button so more people can find this when they need it most. Subscribe so you never miss something that might matter to you and your dog. And drop a comment below with the name of the dog who taught you what love really means. I read every single one. Thank you for watching. And thank your dog right now today for choosing you.